Butts with a CTV News update. Prince George's opens 2 new vaccination clinics. This was the scene at the Kentland Community Center this morning. Several residents say they lined up to get their second shots.
It's basically to protect myself and my family, and I'll be going back to work on Wednesday, so just to make everyone protected, basically.
I came to get it just to make sure that I'm safe. I'm headed back to school with children, and so just wanted to do the best I can to try to keep myself safe and those that I work with.
I think it's important. You know, we always got to protect each other and help, so we can all get back outside.
Cedar Heights Community Center also opened as a vaccination clinic today. According to the County Health Department, to date, about 119,000 residents have received the COVID-19 vaccine. Meantime, 3 members of Maryland's congressional delegation toured a UPS facility in Landover this morning with Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. Senators Chris Van Hollen and Ben Cardin, along with Congressman Anthony Brown, met with UPS managers and drivers to learn more about the site's vaccine delivery efforts and procedures. The group talked about ramping up vaccine deployment and equitable access.
So folks like the delivery drivers that we just met and the people here who have worked out ways to safely deliver vaccine doses, keep them cold, and get them to where they need to be are absolutely on the front lines of getting America through this pandemic.
Also, we really want to thank you for not just highlighting the distribution system, but the men and women in here who are essential workers. They've been on the front line since before the pandemic, and today the joy and satisfaction that they get know that they're delivering some real hope in every delivery and stop that they make.
The American Rescue Plan contains about $160 billion to provide supplies, emergency response testing, and the workforce to distribute the vaccine. 2 men have been arrested and charged with assaulting Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, one of the officers who died in the January 6th insurrection. The men have been identified as Julian Cater and George Tanios. The FBI says they face assault, civil disorder, and obstruction charges, but nothing related to Sicknick's death. The suspects face up to 20 years in prison. Governor Larry Hogan says anti-Asian harassment has been a serious problem for his family and close friends since the pandemic started. The governor's wife, Yumi Hogan, is an immigrant from South Korea. During a CNN interview yesterday, the governor said his wife and her 3 adult daughters have felt discrimination personally, including being called names like the China virus, even though they're from Korea. Former President Donald Trump often used the term China virus when referring to the coronavirus, which many experts say may have stoked anti-Asian harassment. 2 adults and 2 children are transported to hospitals after an early morning townhouse fire in Clinton. The blaze started around 3:30 a.m. in the 5500 block of Eastwood Bonniewood Turn. Flames began in the middle townhouse but quickly spread to 3 other homes. 16 people have been displaced. The 4 who were hospitalized were evaluated and have no serious injuries. Police are asking for the public's help in finding a man who went missing over the weekend. This is 70-year-old Charles Lawson. Lawson was last seen in the 5400 block of 16th Avenue in Langley Park on Saturday. He is about 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighs about 200 pounds. He was last seen wearing a green jacket, an orange shirt, blue jeans, and blue slippers. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact police. While you're watching CTV News, I'm Keisha Betts. We'll be back in 1 moment.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Wait a second.
Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future. I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those two girls.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember it was this girl that I was getting bullied by that one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me? I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody. Because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago, I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
Welcome back. 7 Marylanders have died from the coronavirus in the last day. That's according to the state health department. Meantime, more than 600 people have been diagnosed with COVID-19 overnight in Maryland. This brings the total number of confirmed cases to more than 390,000. In Prince George's, more than 75,000 people have been infected with the virus. Maryland begins a new pre-registration system for the state's 5 mass vaccination sites. Residents in Phase 1 can pre-register at covidvax.maryland.gov or call 1-855-MD-GO-VAX. Those who register will be notified once an appointment is available. The change comes after lawmakers pleaded for weeks with the Maryland Health Department to institute a statewide sign-up system for the vaccination program. Many are still calling for an expansion of Saturday's rollout so the entire system is centralized. A longtime local civil rights leader passed away last month after a prolonged battle with multiple myeloma. Today, we're recognizing June White Dillard as part of Women's History Month. White Dillard began her career as a special education teacher. She went into private practice after graduating from Howard Law School, providing pro bono legal services for her favorite causes. She was also a mentor to many women, including State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy.
She had a commitment to ensuring that individual human rights and civil rights were protected, even in a county that was majority minority. Even though we had leadership that was minority, Black in particular, leadership in our county, what she recognized is that structural racism was something that still existed, that we needed to dismantle, and that she was going to do the work. And so by heading our local NAACP, she continued to put those issues on the forefront as we looked at development, as we looked at education, as we looked at issues like public safety. So I'm so grateful that she continued to press upon us the importance, even in a community that was majority minority, to still keep these issues on the front burner.
June White Dillard held numerous leadership positions, including president of the Prince George's chapter of the NAACP. Good news for Amtrak and hundreds of its furloughed workers. Daily service on 12 long-distance trains, some of which serve our region, will be restored starting in May, and 1,200 laid-off employees will be called back as soon as April. Amtrak says the recently passed COVID Relief Act includes $1.7 billion for the railroad, allowing it to restore service and rehire workers. The system ended daily service outside of the Northeast due to the pandemic. Amtrak says it is also adding 2 additional Acela high-speed round trips to its schedule. Maryland State Police, along with other local agencies, launch a traffic initiative aimed at excessive speeding, aggressive, and impaired driving. The traffic enforcement will cover Montgomery and Prince George's counties along the Beltway and I-270. The goal is to reduce fatalities on the roads, according to the Maryland Department of Transportation. There were more than 17,000 crashes in Prince George's County and nearly 10,000 in Montgomery County in 2020. The enforcement initiative continues through August. It may have been chilly this morning, but that didn't stop a little spring cleaning in our area. The county's Department of Public Works and Transportation and the State Highway Administration teamed up for a litter blitz campaign. CTV caught up with clean-up crews at Cabin Branch Road and Sheriff Road in Landover. The cleanup is taking place countywide. Next week, the Department of Public Works and Transportation kicks off its pothole blitz, followed by an illegal sign campaign. Progressive Maryland is hosting a virtual town hall to address the state's foreclosure crisis. The event is tomorrow night starting at 6:30 p.m. Experts will discuss ways to protect homeowners from losing their homes, especially during the pandemic. For more information, visit the website on your screen. Well, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 39 degrees. Tuesday, rain and snow expected in the morning with a high near 43 and a low around 40. Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a high near 58 and a low around 45. Thursday, rainy and cool with a daytime high near 52 and an evening low around 41. And now for the community calendar. This time last year, many students were stuck at home. This summer, it's time to get to work. The Youth at Work Summer Youth Enrichment Program is accepting applications for those ages 14 to 22. The program offers young teens and adults free job readiness training and paid employment at government, nonprofit, and business work sites in Prince George's County and Washington, D.C. The deadline to apply is March 31st. For more information, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov and search SYEP. And that's your CTV News Update. I'm Keisha Butts. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30. Good night.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say, she really doesn't have much of a life, but to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him, he's gotta come home with me. Not anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.